The warning from the stars. In the late future, humanity was no longer alone in the universe. Earth had joined the Galactic Council, a place where many alien races spoke and ruled. Humans were new, and many did not trust them. The stars were quiet. That day, too quiet, a single message arrived from deep space. It was not friendly, it was not polite. The message came from the Virex Dominion, one of the oldest and strongest empires in the galaxy. They controlled hundreds of systems. Their fleets were feared everywhere. The message was short and cold. Humans are forbidden to act. Earth must remain silent. Any movement will be punished. Across Earth, screens lit up. Governments stopped talking. Cities went quiet. The Galactic Council called an emergency meeting. Alien leaders filled the great chamber. Some looked calm. Some looked pleased. The human seat was small. It always was. Ambassador Elias Grant stood. Alone. He listened. He said nothing. An elder alien spoke loudly. The Virex have decided. For the safety of the galaxy, humans must not interfere. Another voice laughed softly. Earth is young. They do not understand power. Elias Grant raised his eyes. His face showed no fear, only patience. We ask for equal voice. He said calmly, we have done nothing wrong. The chamber reacted with silence, then rejection. The council ignored him. The decision was already made. On distant human colonies, the warning spread fast. Trade ships were blocked. Communication slowed. Human movement was watched. The Virex believed humans would obey. They believed silence meant weakness. On Earth, people watched the stars. Some were afraid, some were angry, but something strange happened. There were no protests, no loud speeches, no threats. Instead, Earth became calm, too calm. Deep under the surface, meetings began. Generals, scientists, and leaders gathered in quiet rooms. No cameras, no records. A general spoke softly. They think we are afraid, a scientist replied. They think wrong. Human history was remembered. Earth had survived wars, plagues, collapse, and fire. Humanity learned one rule long ago. They never rushed. They never shouted. In space, Virex fleets moved closer to human borders. They wanted to show power. They wanted fear. The Galactic Council watched and said nothing. They believed Earth would stay quiet forever. Ambassador Grant returned to Earth. He stood before the leaders. He delivered the final words. They have forbidden us to act. They believe silence is surrender. Earth did not reply to the Virex. No message was sent. No warning was given. Instead, deep in hidden shipyards, lights turned on. Old fleets were unlocked. New systems awakened. Human soldiers trained in silence. Engineers worked without rest. AI cores came online. From the outside, Earth looked weak, still, silent, but inside, the planet was moving, slow, careful, certain, far away. The Virex Dominion watched and smiled. They believed it had won without a fight. They did not understand one thing. Earth was not silent because it was afraid. Earth was silent because it was preparing. And when humanity finally acted, the galaxy would remember that moment forever. Silence is not weakness. The galaxy believed the warning had worked. The Virex Dominion saw no reply from Earth. No ships moved, no weapons fired. Among the alien empires, rumors spread. Humans are scared. They know their place. Virex commanders laughed inside their war halls. They watched human space through long-range scans. Everything looked quiet. The Galactic Council relaxed. Some members felt relief. Others felt satisfaction. The humans obeyed. One elder said, "Peace is saved." Another replied, "But peace was only an illusion." On the outer edge of human space, a small colony orbited a blue star. Families lived there. Miners worked there. Children looked at the sky every night. Without warning, Virex ships arrived. They did not ask permission. They did not speak. Energy beams cut through defense satellites. Human ships were disabled, not destroyed. It was a message. The colony sent a distress call. The signal reached Earth. Every leader heard it. The room was silent. No one shouted. No one panicked. A human admiral looked at the screen. They crossed the line, he said calmly. Still, Earth did not respond publicly. No message to the Virex. No appeal to the Council. The aliens took this as proof. Humans will accept anything. They said. The Virex forces landed on the colony. They took control of stations. They raised their flags. Cameras recorded everything. The footage spread across the galaxy, humans being pushed aside, human guards ordered to kneel. Alien commentators mocked Earth. This is what happens when you are weak, they said. The Galactic Council watched. Some felt shame, most felt nothing. On Earth. The footage played once, then it was shut down, deep underground. The meetings changed tone. Maps filled the walls. Star systems glowed in red and blue. Oh, scientists spoke. They believe silence means fear. A general replied. Silence means control. Human fleets that were hidden for decades began to move. Not fast, not loud. Factories increased output. Shipyards worked day and night. No signals leaked into space. Human AI systems ran millions of simulations. Every Virex tactic was studied. Every weakness marked. On the captured colony, Virex soldiers grew careless. They laughed. They relaxed. They believed Earth would never come. A Virex commander sent a final message to the Council. Humans have accepted their role. They will not resist. The Council archived the message. They considered the matter closed. But one human ambassador remained silent in the chamber. Elias Grant stood and watched. His eyes showed something new. Not anger, not fear. Resolve. Back on Earth. The final meeting began. Only a few words were spoken. The warning was ignored. The colony was touched. The rule is broken. No vote was needed. Everyone already knew the answer. Orders were sent through secure channels. Commands older than the Council itself were activated. In space, human ships changed position, so slowly that no one noticed. The Virex Dominions celebrated too early. They believed the story was over. They did not understand human history. Humans do not answer insults. Humans answer actions, and when Earth finally spoke, it would not be with words. It would be with force. The galaxy woke up believing nothing had changed. The Virex Dominions still controlled the captured human colony. Their flags floated proudly above human cities. The Galactic Council moved on to other matters. To them, Earth was finished. Then something unexpected happened. A single human signal appeared. Not loud, not long. It was sent to the Council and the Virex Dominion at the same time. We tried peace. Only 3 words. No threats. No emotion. The Virex leaders laughed. This is their answer, one commander said. They send words instead of ships. But the laughter did not last long. Across human space, systems came alive. All defense platforms powered up. Hidden relays activated. Human fleets that were never listed in any record left their docks. They did not form large groups. They did not rush. They moved like shadows, silent. Precise Virex sensors detected movement, but the data made no sense. The ships appeared and vanished. A Virex officer frowned. These readings are wrong, he said. Then the first strike happened. Without warning, a Virex supply station went dark. No explosion, no signal. Every system simply stopped. Power died, weapons shut down. Moments later, a second station fell, then a third. Virex commanders shouted orders. They demanded answers. None came. Human ships were not attacking cities. They were cutting nerves, supply lines, communication hubs. The captured human colony watched the sky change. Virex ships froze in orbit, unable to move. Human forces arrived calmly, not firing wildly, not shouting commands. They disabled enemy soldiers with precision. Every move controlled, every action measured. Virex troops panicked. Their weapons failed. Their armor locked. The human officer spoke. Clearly, you are not authorized to be here. Within minutes, the colony was free. No buildings destroyed. No civilians harmed. The footage spread across the galaxy. Aliens watched in shock. This was not an army, one observer said. This was execution. The Galactic Council called an emergency session. Voices filled the chamber. Fear replaced pride. How did humans do this? One elder asked. No one answered. Virex fleets tried to regroup. They formed battle lines near their borders. Human ships followed. Still silent, still calm. Then Earth sent another message. Short, clear. The rule is broken. The meaning was simple. The warning no longer mattered. Virex commanders finally understood the truth. Humans had not been weak. They had been waiting. Human technology adapted in real time. AI systems learned from every move. Virex tactics became useless. One Virex admiral whispered, "They studied us." Yes, another replied. For a very long time, across the galaxy, smaller species watched with hope. The power balance was shifting. Earth did not celebrate. There were no speeches, no victory songs, only movement, only purpose. The Varex Dominion sent urgent messages, asking for talks, asking for time. Earth did not respond. Human fleets continued forward, not fast, not slow, certain. The galaxy realized something important that day. When humans are forbidden to act, they do not rebel loudly, they prepare quietly. And when Earth finally breaks a rule, it is never to make a statement, it is to end a problem. The Varex Dominion believed they had seen the worst. They were wrong. As human fleets moved deeper into Varex space, something changed. The attacks did not slow, they became organized. Entire star systems went quiet at the same time. Defense grids failed together, communication vanished together. Varex commanders realized this was not chaos, this was planning. Then the real human army appeared. From hidden jump points, massive fleets arrived. Ships of every size, carriers, cruisers, silent black vessels, with no markings. The numbers were impossible. No species could build this much without being noticed. A Varex strategist whispered. They were hiding it. Human fleets moved like one mind. Perfect timing, perfect spacing. At the center of it all was human AI command, not replacing humans, guiding them. Every ship shared data instantly. Every mistake corrected before it happened. Varex forces tried to fight back. Weapons fired wildly, targets missed. Human ships did not chase. They waited, they predicted. Enemy. Ships lost engines, lost weapons, lost control. One by one, they drifted helplessly. Varex pilots felt fear for the first time. Not fear of death, fear of being outmatched. On conquered worlds, human soldiers landed. They did not destroy cities, they secured them. Soldiers moved in calm lines, no shouting, no panic. Civilians were protected, hospitals guarded. The message was clear. Humans were not here to conquer people, they were here to remove a threat. The Galactic Council watched in disbelief. Their records showed humans as minor power. Those records were lies. An elder spoke quietly. How long have they prepared? No one answered. Varex leaders ordered full retreat, but retreat was impossible. Human fleets controlled the routes. Jump points were locked. Every escape was predicted. Before it was attempted, a Varex general slammed his claws on the table. This is not war, he shouted. A human transmission appeared on all channels. Cliff's cloth. This is containment. The words spread fear faster than weapons. Smaller alien empires began to withdraw support from Varex. They shut their borders. They cut alliances. No one wanted to stand against Earth. On the battlefield, human discipline never broke. No revenge, no cruelty, only control. Varex soldiers surrendered in large numbers. They laid down weapons. They waited. Human forces accepted surrender without celebration. Prisoners were secured, not punished. A captured Varex officer asked a human guard, "Why are you doing this?" The guard answered simply, "Because you touched our people across the galaxy." That sentence echoed. The Council finally understood their mistake. They had ignored Earth. They had underestimated silence. The Varex Dominion was collapsing, not from destruction, but from precision. Human fleets stopped at the edge of Varex core space. They did not move forward. They waited. That pause terrified the galaxy more than the attack, because everyone knew humans had shown restraint, and restraint meant choice. The army no one expected now stood ready, not as conquerors, but as judges. And the Varex Dominion waited to hear its fate. The galaxy waited in silence. Human fleets held their position near the Varex core worlds. Weapons were ready, but unused. Varex leaders gathered in fear. Their empire was broken. Supply lines gone. Allies vanished. They expected destruction. They expected revenge. It did not come. Instead, a human message appeared on every channel. It was not loud. It was not proud. This conflict is over. The Varex Council did not understand. How can it be over? One leader asked. A second message followed. You will stand down. You will release all prisoners. You will withdraw from human space. There was no anger in the words, only command. The Varex had no choice. Their fleets were disabled. Their systems controlled. One by one, Varex ships powered down. Weapons went offline. Across the galaxy, worlds watched in shock. No empire had ever stopped at victory. Human forces entered Varex systems carefully, not to rule, to stabilize. They repaired power grids. They reopened trade routes. They prevented chaos. Varek civilians were confused. They feared punishment. It never came. Human soldiers guarded food centers, hospitals, water systems. A Varek's child looked at a human soldier and asked, "Are you here to hurt us?" The soldier replied softly, "No." That single word spread faster than fear. The Galactic Council called the largest session in history. Every species attended. The human seat was no longer small. It was central. Ambassador Elias Grant spoke calmly. "Power does not give the right to destroy. Responsibility does." The council listened this time. Sanctions were placed on the Varek's dominion. Their military was dismantled. Their expansion ended. But their worlds remained free. Smaller species felt safe for the first time. They saw Earth as a shield, not a threat. Humanity did not claim territory. They claimed duty. A new rule was written. No empire may attack another without consequence, and Earth would enforce it. Some feared this new order. Others welcomed it, but all respected it. The Varek's leaders signed the surrender, their hands shaking. One of them looked at Ambassador Grant and asked, "Why did you stop?" Grant answered calmly, "Because we are not you." That answer spread across the stars. Human fleets slowly withdrew, not in defeat, but in control. They returned to the borders, watching, waiting. The galaxy changed that day. Fear was replaced by balance. Humanity had shown its true strength, not in how much it could destroy, but in how much it chose not to. The stars felt different, quieter, safer, and deep in space. Every empire remembered one truth. When humans rule, they do not rule with fire. They rule with restraint. Years passed after the fall of the Varek's dominion. The galaxy slowly healed. Trade routes reopened. Borders stabilized. Fear began to fade. But one thing never changed. No empire ever challenged Earth again. Historians across the stars tried to understand why. They studied battles. They studied fleets. They studied technology. But the answer was not found in weapons. In schools across the galaxy, a new lesson was taught. It was called the human paradox. Humans were not the strongest race. They were not the oldest. They were not the largest, yet they were the most feared. The reason was simple. Humans remembered pain. They remembered their own past, their wars, their mistakes, their losses. Earth had burned itself many times before learning control. And once learned, it was never forgotten. The Galactic Council was no longer a place of arrogance. It became a place of caution. The human seat remained at the center, not raised, not lowered, equal. Ambassador Elias Grant grew older, his voice softer, but his words still carried weight. During one final address, he said, "Humanity does not seek power, we seek stability." Many aliens listened closely. They knew these were not empty words. On distant worlds, children learned a new truth. If you threaten humans, they will wait. If you harm humans, they will respond. And if you ignore humans, they will remember. The Varek's worlds still existed. Weaker, humbled, their people told stories of the quiet soldiers, the ones who protected cities instead of burning them. Fear slowly turned into respect. Human fleets continued to patrol the galaxy, never invading, never always watching. Some empires tested the limits. Small attacks, hidden moves. Humans responded once. Only once. That was enough. There was a reason the Council once forbade Earth to act. It was written in old secret records. Those records finally became public. They said, when humans fight, they adapt. When humans adapt, they dominate. And when humans dominate, they stop. That final line confused many, until history proved it true. Humans stopped, not because they were weak, but because they chose to. That choice was what terrified the galaxy. Power without limits was dangerous. Power with limits was unstoppable. Earth had both, on Earth itself. Life continued quietly. People worked. Children laughed. The sky remained blue. Most humans never knew how close the galaxy came to destruction, and that was by design, because humanity did not need to be feared by its own people. Far beyond human space, an alien historian ended his final record. He wrote one sentence: Earth was feared not for its armies, but for its restraint. That sentence became legend, and whenever a new empire rose and dreamed of conquest, its leaders were warned, do not touch Earth, do not threaten humans, because if they remain silent, it is not surrender, it is a warning. And the galaxy remembered. forever.